Chris, we think, everybody around the table, I haven't asked Rick yet, but I'm sure he agrees, that the McCain campaign's running out of time very quickly. Are we starting to see desperation in some of these William Ayers attacks?
Well, on a couple levels, I mean, they may be hitting the right note here. I mean, if you want to get really political about it. I mean, I'm looking up at Bethlehem, Pennsylvania yesterday. They were up there, McCain and her and Sarah Palin. And I have to tell you, I think that they know what they're doing. They're going after the cultural piece. They're raising the mystery story. Who is this guy? They keep asking the same question, no matter what the topic is. Who is this guy? And they ask you to put the pieces together. The first piece, William Ayers, a domestic terrorist who was trying to blow up the Capitol, even though Barack Obama met him 26 years after those terrible activities of his. The idea that the middle name thing is starting to pop up, supposedly accidentally, all over the place at every stop. There seems to be some surrogate up on the platform who mentions the fact the guy's middle name is Hussein. And then, of course, the Republicans going after the contributors list, trying to find some foreign Arab names on the list. I think they're asking the people out there, the culturally conservative voter, to connect those dots to this man's dangerous. I think if you put them all together, Ayers, Hussein, foreign contributors, they're trying to build a piece over the next 4 weeks that this guy is perhaps in a sleeper cell almost. I mean, he's dangerous. And they know what they're doing. This is serious business.
They aggressively went after him last night, didn't they? John McCain himself went after Barack Obama.
This is exactly what Chris is talking about. John McCain and Sarah Palin with Sean Hannity last night on Fox News. Listen to what they said.
What more do you want to know about this relationship? What does it tell you about Barack Obama?
Tells me, again, we need to question his judgment. And, not only those atrocious activities that Bill Ayers was involved in, but the questions need to be asked, I believe. When did Barack Obama know of his activities? We've heard so many conflicting stories and flip-flopped answers about when he knew the guy. Did he realize that he kicked off his political career in the guy's living room? First it was yes, and then it was no. It comes down to, again, judgment and truthfulness.
I think they should care about Senator Obama's truthfulness. It's about Senator Obama being candid and straightforward with the American people about their relationship. He has dismissed it by saying he was just a guy in the neighborhood. We know it's much more than that. Let's reveal all of the details of that relationship, and then the American people can make a judgment.
Chris, they're staying with the Bill Ayers stuff. Is this effective for them?
I know what they're doing. It's classic push-polling. It's constantly insinuating something by asking the same question over and over again. They're trying to create a borehole into this guy. Sarah Palin is a low-information voter herself. She's talking to low-information voters, older people who are open to suspicion, and they're playing on this foreignness. He's a foreigner. He may be dangerous. He hangs out with terrorists. He's got a name Hussein. Let's see who's giving to his campaign. If anybody doesn't think this is a serious attempt to win this election, they're not paying attention. This is about winning Pennsylvania. It's about winning Florida. That's what it's about.
A low information voter. That's okay. I'm a low information. I'm a low information.
This is brilliant, Joe. It's brilliant. What they're doing is they've got a person here, Sarah Palin, who knows nothing about Barack Obama's past, and she's open. See how she squints her eyes? She's trying to figure out his past, too, with us. She's sharing in this suspicion. She's just like us. She wants to know, why is he so friendly to terrorists? What is this about this guy? She's just like us.
So, Chris,
this is brilliant politics.
Is it brilliant politics? I mean, look at this headline. Look at the crisis we're facing, and you hear what people in Pennsylvania, your state and my state, you hear the troubles that they are fearing are ahead in terms of how they're going to fare economically. Do you really think this works now in this climate?
Yes.
Wow.
I think it reaches that fourth quintile of voters that Barack Obama has to get. He can't get the fifth quintile. The people just don't like the fact he's Barack Obama. But he's got to reach that conservative, culturally conservative person. who is worried about him now because they keep raising this issue. Who is Barack Obama? I've never heard this done with a presidential candidate who's been around as long as this guy. He's been on the public stage now for 4 years, every single minute of his life now, 4 years on the stage, and they keep saying, who is he? Who is he? Who is he? It's all about suspicion. It's about darkness. It's about intrigue. It's making him an international man of mystery. They're working at it. And by the way, Steve Schmidt is playing to win this thing, Joe.
Wow.
That's what it's about, winning this election with this issue.
So what is it, Joe? Are we in an echo chamber? Do we not see that this actually connects with people? And are we seeing a disconnect that others don't see when you get out into America?
No, we aren't. I mean, I am the first person to always talk about how the national media doesn't get what's happening in red state America. Here, what's happening in red state America is everybody's scared to death about the retirement. And Chris is exactly right with what the McCain campaign is trying to do. Mike Barnacle, I just think it falls on deaf ears. And this is one of those moments after 9/11. I compare it to that, where after 9/11, Democrats could say whatever they wanted to say. It was crowded out by the fear of another terror attack. After this crash, everything like Ayers is crowded out by economic fears.
Well, in ordinary times, I would submit that Chris is absolutely right and has accurately nailed what's going on in the country, and certainly accurately nailed what's going on within the McCain campaign.
Well, yeah, that's what he's talking about.
With low information voters, as Chris just explained, Sarah Palin squinting as she asked the question on TV, what's wrong with who is Barack Obama? Her problem, the McCain campaign's problem, is that there are many more millions of Americans squinting when they open the mail and saying, "What? Look at my 401k."
Look at the headlines.
That's the ultimate.
Rick, you agree with us that at this point in history, this attacks on William Ayers isn't going to work?
Right, our poll, which is out today in this issue, shows that 6 in 10 Americans think the economy is worse now than it was a year ago. Barack Obama leads by 28 percentage points among Americans who think the economy is worse. Yeah. That's pretty definitive.
Isn't it fascinating, Chris? We hear it time and again that generals are always fighting the last war and politicians are always running the last campaign. For 2 years, we thought that the 08 campaign would be like the 06 campaign. It would be about Iraq. It's not. And usually victory goes to the more nimble candidate. And right now, it looks like John McCain has his feet stuck in cement.
Well, the only thing is, I've been watching these rallies and the way that they do connect, as you were saying a couple minutes before I came on, the way they're connecting with the people who attend the Palin rallies and the McCain rallies, the people are yelling out stuff that suggests that fourth quintile out there, that group of people out there a bit further out, more worried about cultural issues, more worried about Barack Obama's Swahili name, whatever, his race, whatever. They're yelling out things like, kill him, a terrorist. I mean, they're reaching a certain element in that crowd that is responding to this scare campaign, this suspicion campaign. I think they're connecting on a kind of an electric level with that sort of zeitgeist out there of fear, which comes at a time of economic crisis, where people are willing to buy into something that's scary because they're just scared generally, Joe.
I think that quintile, if that's what you call them, have already made up their minds. I think
the fifth quintile has. They're working on that fourth quintile that's going to decide this election. That's who they're going after.
And you think that this is, and I've heard other people, Chuck Todd talks about how Pennsylvania is more susceptible to this than any other state. Why is your home state, especially the area around Pittsburgh, why is that area more susceptible to these type of tactics?
Well, I know. We'll see if it is, but I think they're playing on it. I think the fact that it's people don't move in and out of those areas a lot. They love where they live in places like Allentown. They live there their whole lives, and a guy comes in with a strange name, and they say, who is this guy? And the guy asking the question's got a sort of a regular name, John McCain. He's a war hero. Governor Palin looks as regular as apple pie. And when they show up, they say, we got this opponent out here with this Swahili name. His name's Hussein. And that's all in the crowd noise. It somehow gets out there. And by the way, who's given to his campaign? And why is he hanging around with domestic terrorists? Why does he think America is so imperfect? Why do they keep saying that line? Why does he think it's so imperfect? Palin says that at every stop. Why does he dislike America, this guy? They're playing on perhaps the bitterness comment made several months ago by him in San Francisco. They're working this vein, guys, and they may pull it in Pennsylvania. That's a state. And also South Florida. Let's not kid ourselves. In South Florida, with the older Jewish voters down there, they're playing that fear card down there, too. Look, they need 2 states to win this election. They got to hold Florida and grab Pennsylvania and hold on to the Bush voters.